Welcome to the tutorial on auditing. Now we are going to learn about the qualities of an auditor. To be an efficient auditor, you should have the following qualities such as integrity, objectivity, and independence. And you should have the skills and competence to perform your responsibility as an auditor, and you should maintain the confidentiality of the company in which you are performing your responsibility under the engagement for auditing. Besides those qualities, we can see the general traits or characteristics that should be possessed by an auditor, such as the auditor should be a well knowledgeable person, and those knowledge should be on the principles and theory of all branches of accounting. You should have the knowledge on all branches of accounting. It may be financial accounting, cost accounting, management accounting, advanced accounting, tax accounting, etc. So, to be an auditor, you should be a knowledgeable person on the fundamental principles and theory of all branches of accounting. As an auditor, you should not pass any transaction unless you are sure that the transactions are correct. The auditor should be able to grasp quickly. The auditor should have the quick understanding on the technical details of the business whose accounts he is auditing. There are several categories of business operation. Some business are manufacturing, some business are service oriented. So, as an auditor, he should have the ability to understand the technical details so that he can perform the responsibility perfectly. Fourth traits or characteristics of an auditor is that he should be prepared to seek elucidation. He should ask for the explanation on the technical questions rather than show false pride or fear of displaying his own ignorance. As an auditor, you may go through various types of organization and you may face some technical issues, and if you think that you are not aware about the particular technical issues, in that case you should ask question to understand the technical issue. You should not show any false pride or fear. You can seek explanation or elucidation on the technical issues. And the fifth qualities or traits which should be possessed by an auditor is the auditor should be quite familiar with the related laws. It may be commercial law, labor law, environmental law, taxing law, and other laws which are related to the operations of a business. The auditor should be tactful and scrupulously honest. He must not be influenced directly or indirectly by others in the discharge of his duties. There should not be any compromise due to any influence from the other parties. And the next traits or qualities of an auditor is he must have the courage to carry out his duty in awkward position when his duty to his client is opposed to his own interest. The required interest or required responsibility for the auditor is to provide the opinion on the facts. But if there is any awkward position to perform the responsibility, and if there is any awkward position which will become a threat for the independence of the auditor, in that case, the auditor should have the courage to carry out his responsibility so that he can provide his opinion without any influence or compromise. After that, we can see the auditor must be prepared to resign rather than sign a balance sheet or financial position which he knows does not exhibit a true and fair view of the state of affairs of the concern and thus give a false report. If the statement of financial position is not exhibiting the true and fair information, if there is a false information, or if there is any misstatement in the financial position, in that case, the auditor may resign rather than sign the statements. And the next characteristics or traits which should be possessed by an auditor is he should not disclose the secrets of his clients. The auditor should maintain the confidentiality of the information of the particular company in which he is performing the responsibility. And the next one is he must have the tact to put intelligent questions to extract full information. He must not adopt an attitude of suspicion. If he shows the attitude of suspicion, then the internal employee will try to influence you on the issues on which you are showing your suspicion. And the next traits or characteristics or qualities which should be possessed by an auditor is he must be prepared to hear arguments and must be reasonable. In any unfair issue, there may be some arguments, and in that case, the auditor should be reasonable to insist on providing the real information in his or her opinion. Then we can see the auditor must be vigilant, cautious, methodical, and accurate. He should have the ability to write the report, because ultimately, after the examination of the truth and facts, the auditor should provide the report. That's why he should have the ability to write the report clearly, correctly, concisely, and forcefully. He should have an understanding of the general principles of economics. He should have thorough training in business organization, management, and finance. There are several functions in a organization. The auditor should have the training on those issues so that he or she can understand the real issues happening in those functions, such as operational functions, managing functions, financing functions, etc. Last but not the least, the auditor should have common sense so that he can deal any unfavorable situations tactfully to perform his responsibility as an auditor, because he should maintain the integrity, objectivity, and independence in providing the opinion. Thank you.